Good morning, everybody. It's Heroes on the Horizon. We are back from the icy cold Indiana University Southeast campus.
We survived.
We did survive. It's a miracle. The big ice over.
Is it a miracle, or is it just the opposite of a miracle?
It's destiny.
It's destiny.
Fate.
What are we destined to? Freeze to death?
Talk about really obscure comic book characters.
That's all we're destined to do here.
Anyway, it's me, Charlie, and of course your boy
Levi
is all back here, guys. We're excited for this episode. It's nice to see. How are you all doing? Did you all survive the cold?
Yes, we did. Except for some of us. Some of us didn't.
It's kind of dark right there, Levi.
Yeah.
Too soon.
But it's literally so cold. I saw on Reddit someone blew a bubble, and the bubble froze. And it was really cool, but it was also like, oh my goodness, it's cold.
It's like all my hopes and dreams shattering right there.
Yeah, so
it's too cold. Have you seen the videos of like people like boiling water and like splashing out their door, and it freezes right when it gets out the door?
Yeah, my cousins did that.
That's awesome.
It didn't work, but you know, it worked for most people.
It was too hot. Anyway, so thank y'all for listening. We love you guys. You are the reason that we do this show because we love you all. And we appreciate you.
I do want to say, on the thing of boiling water really fast,
yeah.
If you boil the water, it actually freezes faster because the temperature difference is more or something like that. I don't understand it, but I heard that if you have the water hotter, it actually makes it freeze faster because it like
sounds like pseudoscience to me.
You lose the temperature escapes quicker because it's so much of a difference or something like that. I don't know. That's what I heard.
I'm going to turn off your mic now.
That's just what I heard.
Anyway, so if you want more Heroes on the Horizon banter and dumb stuff like that, be sure to follow us on our Twitter @on_heroes.
And follow our Instagram.
Just say it.
It's so long, and I always forget it. I'm going to mess it up if I say it.
One of our followers said, it freezes faster because the atoms are farther apart.
See? I was right.
Our Instagram @heroes_on_the_horizon. It's a really bad name. I didn't think it through, but hey, just go and follow us there. But also a quick shout out to one of our fans who asked for it. A lady named Elise Cole down Packville, Kentucky. Thank you for listening. Our #1 fan down there, and quick shout out to her. Shout out. Yeah, it's
Elise.
awkward.
I shouted it.
Thank you, job, Eli. I'm proud of you. So anyway, our big topic of discussion today is the idea of multiverses in general in comics. Now that is a really big and dense, confusing,
very confusing,
hurtful,
awful topic.
It hurts me issue.
This is going to be the worst episode and the best one.
You were not here for Alpha Flight, apparently.
That one was probably better.
It ran for 30 minutes short.
I mean, honestly, it was
I had
amazing.
to do an awkward pause to take a sip of water. It was just silence. I listened to it, and I posted it still.
Okay, here's how we're going to make this one
worse. I had
worse.
fans who were excited for that episode, and then they watched it, and they never tweeted at us ever again.
We're going to have an awkward pause right now. Okay, we're going to make it worse.
Brace yourselves, guys.
Okay, you ready?
Pause with us at home.
3, 2, 1.
Ah!
You messed it up.
I couldn't contain it. Anyway, so it's really complicated, but so make it a bit easier. We're going to look at the multiverses through the lens of the Spiderverse.
Which does make it way easier.
A little bit, yeah.
Because some
big shot Hollywood film studio made a movie called Into the Spiderverse.
And it was awesome.
It was
really good.
Awesome.
It managed to make multiverses not horrible.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't like multiverses usually.
I usually don't either, but it's all good.
It's a bad idea, and I have a lot of criticisms for it.
Disagree.
It's a bad idea.
Anyway,
but we'll talk about that later.
We'll get right into it. So we're talking about multiverses in comics. We of course got to talk about the big two publishers. We got DC and Marvel, and they're really different in how they handled it. Want to talk about that real quick?
Yes, but what if Marvel and DC are all part of the same system of multiverses, and they just have never discovered each other?
They kind of did that once.
But what if?
I'll just hand you a comic one day where it happens. It's called Justice League versus Avengers.
Are you telling me I'm right?
I mean, you're not wrong.
Oh.
Anyway,
win.
so
I did it.
yeah, so DC Comics was the first to kind of create a multiverse in a Wonder Woman comic, but they more famously did it in an issue called Flash of Two Earths, or Flash number 123, where the Silver Age Flash, Barry Allen, met the 1940s Golden Age Flash, Jay Garrick, in a big comic, and it was a big deal. And the cool thing about it is it actually kind of it's really similar to how they talk about like string theory and how multiverses work. Before string theory was a thing,
That's pretty cool.
like the Flash vibrated so fast that his vibrations met the frequency of the vibrations of another universe, so he transferred, which is technically how string theory works. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I tried to read the Wikipedia, but I fell asleep during it. So
you gotta go to the simple English Wikipedia. There's no way that I would be able to understand string theory Wikipedia. Just like that's high level Wikipedia right there.
it's solid Wikipedia right there.
It's a little bit intense, but I mean, this is probably why I'm a bigger fan of Marvel than DC, because DC is responsible for all of this BS.
Reasonable. However, DC has it more under contained, because generally, as of the New 52, I'm not sure about Rebirth. It's confusing. A big event called Convergence, where they kind of changed some stuff, but I didn't read that, because A, I was broke at the time, and B, I didn't care. It drawing has a set number of 52 different multiverses, and they even gave us a really cool map of it, which I attached to our outline. We have a map of it, which is really nice, of the main universe.
If you guys can just imagine, it's like a big ball with little balls inside it that are all colorful.
I'll post it on the Twitter probably.
That's
It's all good.
you need
It's
to
really
know.
it's a really deep map. I'll say that. But yeah,
So when Flash was vibrating, that's the flashpoint, right?
no, this was back in like 1965, something like that.
Oh, so it happens again in a different way later?
Flash travels dimensions all the time. It's just how it works. Yeah, pretty much. He travels dimensions all the time. This is how it is. He time travels because he runs too fast. Changes his timeline.
He just accidentally time travels sometimes. Whoopsie-doo.
Yeah, he just runs fast. And he has a cosmic treadmill, which allows him to time travel even more. It's just a really fancy treadmill that can make him run really fast.
Honestly, part of me dislikes Flash for the fact that they made it so overcomplicated, and another part of me is like, man, now I want to read every single Flash comic ever.
Oof, my dad has a lot of them. If you want to borrow those.
Maybe.
From the 70s.
Oh my goodness. Maybe I don't. So much.
Why do you hate the 70s?
Just because it's just so many comic issues. How would I ever read that many?
You're right.
It's a lot.
I forgot what I was going to say. But yeah, so generally DC has a set 52 number of universes, which really honestly does simplify things, I think. Like,
it's also unrealistic, and it limits them.
Yeah, it does kind of limit them. But
so I almost like the fact that Marvel is able to do whatever they want.
Exactly, because Marvel... My chair is broke, guys. We're all good. Marvel has an unlimited number of universes. They're like, the universe is expanding. There's an infinite number of realities. And there's like literally millions and billions and billions and trillions and
billions and billions.
A Googleplex number of universes.
They don't take advantage of nearly a fraction of them.
I mean, I think they do, but hey.
Well, I mean, they're trying, but
they have a universe where Spider-Man has like a Megazord like robot that he travels.
Eventually, they're going to run out of ideas.
No, they won't.
I believe they will.
No, they won't. They could do a 1970s Spider-Man universe, and
that would be awesome.
It would.
Like the old cartoon. They could have the old... Wait, they kind of already did that, didn't they? In the movie. Is that a spoiler?
No.
Because it's the end credits scene.
Shh. It's all good. But yeah. And on Marvel, we did a lot, especially in like throughout the years. He had this title called What If. It would be like, what if Spider-Man had joined the Fantastic Four? It was like every single issue was a different like random idea that they did. And it'd be a different universe. Like, what if Galactus ate the Earth? Or like, what if Civil War never ended? Or what if
the Spider-Man comics were actually manga?
They did that, I think.
Yeah, they did.
Or what if One More Day never happened? Which One More Day is a really touchy subject for Spider-Man characters. We'll get into that here in a second.
What if everything is like a Disney cartoon? That actually happened. What if?
Stop it. But yeah. But the big thing about this is it kind of mostly revolves around Spider-Man. He has his own kind of, Spiderverse, which is kind of cool, I think, because there's so many different Spider-Man editions and things like that. And we're here to talk about just a few of them. Because there's
Question.
literally an infinite number.
Why in the world did they pick Spider-Man to be the character they chose for all this?
Because he's their most popular character. Like,
That's what I was wanting to get at.
yeah, Spider-Man is literally their flagship character. Like, where you see it, so DC has their big three, right?
Mhm.
It's Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. Those are the ones that are guaranteed to sell. People love them the most. They're time tested and stuff like that. Marvel technically has a big three. It's like Spider-Man. He always sells. Kids love him. People like Spider-Man. He sells. And then Wolverine, he sells a lot. He's a mainstay in their comics. Wolverine's one of the big three. And number three is kind of a touchy subject. We don't really know. It might just be a big two. But some people say it's Captain America. Others say it's Deadpool. Ugh. Other people say...
You don't like Deadpool.
I have a love-hate relationship. Sometimes I love him, sometimes I hate him. The movies are great. Sometimes in comics he's just too memey, like, LOL, I love chimichangas. Woohoo!
Yeah. I think he worked really well with Spider-Man when there was like some TV shows where he worked with Spider-Man.
Yeah, those are fun. There's a Spider-Man Deadpool comic that was really fun I liked. There's also a comic where he teamed up with Hawkeye, which is really cool because he touched on the fact that Hawkeye is actually deaf.
Which I was not aware of. Like,
yeah, it's really cool.
Ever. But I do forget what I'm saying in a
yeah. If you ask Marvel who their big three person is, they're going to say Captain Marvel, which we're just going to leave that for another day.
Not true. But I was thinking about this. I was thinking, why is Spider-Man the one that gets the universes? And because Spider-Man as a character, that doesn't seem to me like it makes a lot of sense that Spider-Man would be the one.
Well, who else would be the one?
I don't know. It makes more sense if it's like Doctor Strange or some character that actually would fit the aesthetic of multiverses.
Well, I feel like Spider-Man being so relatable to teens and stuff, and like having such a diverse like group of rogues galleries and stuff. Like, he has probably the most iconic rogues gallery this side of Batman. Well, I feel like that leads a lot more to like different ideas on the character and stuff.
Well, yeah, and not only that, because Spider-Man is so popular, it would almost not be worth it to put a lot of money and creative energy into this multiverse idea if they were to do it to an unpopular character. They kind of have to do it to Spider-Man.
That's good. I doubt people would read, like Hawkeye Noir. I doubt they'd read that. Or what if Captain Marvel was in the year 3000? I doubt people would read that. But Spider-Man, you slap that on there, people are like, ooh wee. And I like that.
The nice thing about it is that these different comic book writers who might have an idea that might not sell by itself are kind of able to attach the idea to Spider-Man, and then people will read it, which is sad, but also it's kind of good that they get their idea out there. I almost wish that they were able to not attach it to Spider-Man and just write the story, though, because a lot of them have stories that are so different from the original Spider-Man. I don't think that they were even conceived to be part of the same universe originally.
Yeah, there's a few exceptions of that, but like Old Man Logan, that wasn't Spider-Man attached, and it was really popular. But it's attached to like their second most popular character, but I mean, still, that's kind of different. And they have other things going on. Like Hulk has a few good alternate universe ones, but he's also really popular though. But yeah.
Yeah, I
think that's
one. I totally forgot that Hulk existed.
Yeah, reasonable. Me too. It happens. I think that's the whole point of What If though. What If really gave a lot of creators the ability to create the random situations you want with random characters. Like what if Captain America never got frozen and he is an old man now?
Yeah.
Like I feel like it really gave a lot of more freedom. I feel like honestly, if they were to bring back What If as a mainstay, I think it would sell pretty well, in my opinion. But I
think that's kind of what they're already doing. Like, the Spider-Verse is basically a big What If. It's just an unsaid What If. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They try to do a Venomverse series, which it kind of sucked. I didn't really like it.
Maybe they should just rope that in with the rest of the Spider-Verse series. Like, maybe Venom can just
some cool ones
into it,
What if X-23 was a Venom character, or... It was rough. I wasn't a big fan
of it. Or like what's Doc Ock like in the other universes? Kind of like what happened in the movie, because Doc Ock was completely different in the universe that we were in.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool.
And I actually like that Doc Ock better. I wish they spent more time on her.
She's no Alfred Molina, Spider-Man 2 Doc Ock, but hey, I liked it. But yeah, so you want to talk about the different universes and stuff?
Oh boy.
Okay, so we're talking about Spider-Man universes. buckle up, guys, because here we go.
We already alluded to a few.
Yes, we are. You're right. So the main universe that Marvel Comics takes place in, the Spider-Man that was originally created, all the general main universe happens in Earth 616.
I'm pretty sure they just use a random number generator to figure out the numbers of the Earths.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do too.
Yeah, I don't think there's no significance to
I
any
don't think
of
we've
them.
been to Earth 1. I don't know, but
Ooh, that could be a cool comic. It's like Earth 1 is like some big important thing.
it's the Prime Earth.
The Prime Earth. Oh my gosh.
It's actually DC Comics.
It's the entire DC comic multiverse is one Prime Earth.
Valid. Which actually, Marvel technically has a Justice League ripoff. It's kind of fun. They kind of just like conquer worlds sometimes, and like they appear and kill people. Like, oh, name more, I'm gonna pick your head off. That happens.
I mean, isn't the Justice League like the same thing as the Avengers?
No, don't ever say that ever again.
But I mean,
They're
it's
very
just-
different.
I mean, they're different, but it's the same idea. Lol, our comic characters gonna get together and fight bad guys, right?
It's different.
But it's the same idea.
It's
They
different.
can
though.
take the story in different ways,
if
but
you
it's
ever-
still the same
There's
idea.
a comic called Avengers vs. Justice League, and they kind of touch on it. It's a really fun series where the DC universe and the Marvel universe like switch sides. Like they got reverse transported. Like the DC creatures ended up in the Marvel universe, and the Marvel universe ended up in the DC universe. And they're like, the Marvel characters are like, this world is too pure. These characters are God. People worship them. We hate these guys. They aren't doing their job. And then the Marvel universe, the Justice League ended up in the Marvel universe, and they're like, everyone's dead. All these bad things are happening. These heroes suck at their job. It was kind of a touch point. I don't know.
Was this made by the people?
It was made by Marvel and DC. They worked together on it.
Wow. And was it like an opportunity for them to basically crap all over each other?
Yeah, they came together in the end. However, there's this one funny scene. So like they're going through the Marvel universe, Justice League are, and Diamond's like, don't touch anything, don't mess anything up, don't get involved. You see something bad happening, don't get involved. Like they're flying over like Genosha, where all means got genocided and stuff, and like a bunch of bad things. And then Batman sees the Punisher killing people. He's like, 1 second, guys, and takes out the Punisher.
Oh
Like
my
Batman.
goodness, Batman versus the Punisher.
They did in the comic, and
I want
Batman
to see
won.
that. I need to read the Punisher comics.
Okay, it's
Because-
not my thing.
I don't know. I've only like seen little bits and pieces of it, and I feel like I really want to read them.
You should check it out then.
Yeah.
I recommend it. But yeah, so the main universe is Earth 616. That's the main comic book universe where most of the big things happen. Kind of the whole multiverse revolves around that universe and stuff. And oh yeah, that's the main one.
But that's not the one that the movies happen in.
No, that's a different. So which movie? Talking about the MCU?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I'm referring to.
Which number is that one? I got it here.
199999.
Yes.
Wow.
They're off by one. I couldn't round it up. I don't know. Yeah, that's the main. That's the MCU universe where Tom Holland takes place.
Oh my goodness.
What?
What if now that the Thanos thing has happened, now that the Infinity War thing has happened,
Yes.
maybe the universe they're going to pick it up in and we're going to see all the characters in again is the rounded up
Gosh, I hope so.
what would that be, like 200,000? Yeah, 200,000.
It'd be 2 million.
It would be?
No, 1 million.
No, 200,000.
Oh, it'll be 200,000. I can't count.
I win.
Surprise, guys at home. Charlie can't do math. Second grade was hard, both years of it.
I can't either.
Yeah,
I'm a musician.
Because the MCU is its own universe, which allows them a bit more creative liberty. I think with that. 'Cause I think people are like sometimes like the MCU isn't comic accurate. They're doing things differently, which you can make the argument. It's a different multiverse. They can do whatever the heck they want. Which I think that lends them to more creative liberty in that one though.
Do they show the comics like addressing the movie universe?
I don't think we've actually had the movie universe like cross over.
That would be cool.
Which they kind of did technically. I don't know, but not the MCU universe. Like they touched over on like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man universe and the Andrew Garfield Amazing Spider-Man. Because there's a scene in Spiderverse where Spider-Man and another Spider-Man is like hanging out, fighting off like these evil immortal beings, and they're like, "This is getting really crazy. I saw a singing Spider-Man," and the one's like, "Yeah, I saw Spider-Man that looked like the guy from Biscuit, which is Tobey Maguire." It's like, "No way! I saw one that looked like the guy from the Social Network, which is Andrew Garfield." And I thought that was hilarious.
I just, I'm just not going to say what I was going to say.
What were you gonna say?
No, not going to say
Say it. I think you should say it. What you gotta say? Bye.
Nothing.
Sure.
Nothing.
If you think Levi should say what he's supposed to say, you should tweet at us right now.
Maybe I'll say it later in the episode.
Is it about the Sam Raimi Spider-Man?
It might have been.
Gosh darn, I hate you. You're uncultured. You don't understand quality film, and you hate Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
I don't hate it. I just highly dislike it. I can't take it seriously. But then again, I have a hard time taking Spider-Man in general seriously. I think it's kind of the silliest concept I've ever heard of.
Most superheroes are the silliest concept you've ever heard of.
But some of them are really great and awesome.
Like, name one.
Like Iron Man.
Yeah,
awesome.
That's a silly concept.
No, it's not. It's
he
awesome.
built a suit of armor in a cave.
It was...
He's literally a character that's meant to be unlikable, and people love him.
That's why I love him. He is depth, and he's interesting. He's not just some boy running around shooting webs and acting like a spider, literally climbing up walls.
Spider-Man had an uncle who died because of irresponsibility.
Running around in a giant spider-themed onesie.
Have you seen the original Iron Man suit of armor? He's literally wearing a bucket on his head. It's literally the stupidest costume I've ever seen.
It's true. It's true. It's amazing.
Spider-Man has some good outfits out there.
Yes, just not the original at all.
I'll agree with you on that one, actually.
Yeah,
like, I prefer a black suit Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's way cooler. I would be okay with that, and that would actually, I would be fine with that. But he just looks ridiculous, and the whole concept is ridiculous. And the fact that he is one of the most popular in the Marvel universe is crazy to me. Why is he, of all superheroes, one of the most popular superheroes? Spider-Man.
His power set is just so much different.
Imagine Batman being
wears a
actually
onesie.
bitten by... Yeah, but the onesie has like armor on it and stuff and a cape. It's cooler. Imagine Batman being bitten by a radioactive bat and being able to actually fly and then becomes a vampire or something. And then
that sounds like a really cool story. I'll tell
uses
you what,
uses echolocation.
Talk about Man Bat.
That Man Bat.
Yeah, that's a character in the comics.
Oh my gosh! See, that's
Anyway, the other big Marvel universe in the comics is Earth 1610. That's the Ultimate Universe. It was created in 2001 by a writer known as Brian Michael Bendis, and he's technically the most influential comic book writer in the 21st century. That's a good episode for another day, because you either love Bendis or you hate Bendis.
I have heard many a thing about Bendis.
Yes. So that's the Ultimate Universe of Spider-Man. It's the whole point of the Ultimate Universe is to be a lot more edgier and grittier and more realistic. Like, what if Spider-Man was a high schooler in 2001? It was, like, more realistic. Granted, it kind of got out of hand with it, because it kind of just, like, instead of being realistic, they're like, what's the edgiest stuff we can do? What if Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver were in an incest relationship? What if the Blob ate someone, and we saw it on panel? It got really weird.
Yeah, see, I like the idea of comics being a little more realistic, or leaning into how silly they are. I don't like that weird in-between where things go too far at all.
Yeah, that was the main problem with the Ultimate Universe. It started off as realistic, but when other creators kind of got in, like, let's go crazy with this, it got out of hand. Bendis never let anyone else write Ultimate Spider-Man. That was his baby, which is kind of a good thing, because it kind of kept a consistency. Like, it stayed...
A consistent amount of crazy?
Yeah, like yes, he kind of hogs comics sometimes he's writing, but you gotta admit, the guy has kind of consistency, at least with Ultimate Spider-Man. His other comics, no consistency.
Anybody who has a creative mind, I think, probably would do that. I think that people who are really, really creative tend to be really protective of what their creative output, you know?
Yeah.
He probably doesn't see it as a job. He sees it as, like...
His creation.
Yeah.
His baby.
Which is cool. I like that, actually. I can relate to that as an artist. I think that that's important to be a little Wagnerian occasionally. It's kind of a good thing.
Wagnerian?
Wagner he believed that he should be the one in charge of everything that he wrote in all of his operas. He also hated Jews, but whatever.
Okay. Cool. Heroes on the Horizon fun fact of the day.
Yeah.
Wagner is someone who really likes all this stuff, lets people touch it, and he also hates a certain group of people.
Yeah, he was pre-Hitler.
Well,
Hitler loved his writings.
But the Ultimate Universe is also where we first got the character of Miles Morales, the
Wait, I want to clarify. I'm not calling Michael Bendis a Jew hater. I'm sorry.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah, that's not what I'm referring
We're
to.
gonna
I'm
get
saying
flagged
that
now
there's
if
a
you-
difference. I'm just talking. I meant to refer to the fact that he just is protective of his creative work.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, we also got Miles Morales out of the universe, which is the black Puerto Rican Spider-Man, which was what Spiderverse revolved around. And
No, I really liked that one.
yeah, and so technically the 1610 universe was destroyed, but that is technically, I don't know, it's kind of confusing.
Wait,
like,
which one is 1610?
the Ultimate Universe,
Okay.
where Miles Morales first came. Miles Morales is in the 616 universe now permanently,
Oh,
and
that's not the way the movie went, was it?
that's just a different multiverse
Okay.
because comics.
Whatever.
But yeah, so technically it was destroyed, but technically because the whole like infinite universe thing, it still exists. It's confusing. They just don't make any comics in that universe anymore.
It was just an excuse to get rid of it. See, this is why. You know
I mean,
what? I don't want
it
to
kinda
skip
needs
ahead
to.
to my opinion about
No, go right ahead.
multiverses, but I'm going to, yeah, because this is why I don't like multiverses. I think that it just gives you an excuse to do anything. It gets rid of any kind of consequence to anything you write in the story. If you kill off a character, then it doesn't matter. You can bring him back. There's no consequence at all. You could have a million of the same character that come and replace it. This is why I think that with the whole Infinity War thing, it's all going to go back to normal. It doesn't matter if those characters died, because they're all going to come back because of Doctor Strange. Some Doctor Strange from a different universe is going to be like, well, here we are.
That's a bold assumption.
That's what I think is going to happen. I might be wrong, but they have that card, and they can play it if they want to. Heck, there is another Spider-Man movie coming out. It's announced. It's there in the list, and he's already gone. So they have to justify that somehow, or have it be a flashback or something. So like, there's no consequence to anything, and not only that, there's no limits at all. You can write any kind of character. The only way it works, in my opinion, is if you do it like they do in the Spiderverse and they don't take it seriously. Like, it was more of a joke, I think, in the Spiderverse movies. And it made it more palatable, and it made it more fun. But if you try and make it serious, it doesn't. I just don't.
Okay.
That's my hot take. It's my hot take. But I loved the movie. I loved it to pieces.
I feel like multiverses have that aspect. I feel like from a creative standpoint, writers try to keep it mainly try to take their works as serious as they can. Like, they want to have stakes in their writing. That's why, in all reality, the character of Gwen Stacy, who got killed, has never actually come back in that universe. Like, there's Spider-Gwen, but she's not in the same universe as main Spider-Man.
But she could come back.
She could, but that would be disrespectful to what happened to the character, I think.
It would be.
She died for a reason.
It would be horribly disrespectful.
So I feel like most of the time, characters who die for a good reason have stayed. Uncle Ben has never come back. They could totally bring him back, but that would defeat the purpose.
But, I mean, how many years does it take before it no longer matters? If they continue to keep writing all these different stories, I mean, 20
It
years
takes a few
from now,
years.
if it's 20, 30 years from now, maybe no one will care, or they'll be like, well, maybe we want to bring it back, and it's almost like they have that option, and I don't like the fact that they have that option.
That's the big problem I think with comics, right, especially Marvel, is that characters, well, they don't stay dead. Like, they kill characters off for the sake of, plot points. Like, oh no, Wolverine just died in comics. He's not going to stay dead. It's a Wolverine.
Yeah, exactly.
They did it for like a big story arc, it was a cool story arc. It was kind of like Wolverine lost his healing factor, and then he dies. Spoiler alert, crap. I'm sorry, guys. Spoiler alert. But he was dead for about 2 years, but he's coming back this year. He's alive again with hawk claws. With claws made of fire. It's really weird. But he's coming back.
That's kind of awesome and kind of weird.
It is kind of cool. I love Wolverine.
I love Wolverine, too.
Yeah. And I think that's just
he can do whatever he wants. He's still cool.
You're right. There's just no real sense of urgency, I guess. Because if a character dies in comics right now, people know he's going to come back. I feel like what might need to happen I don't know what needs to be done. I'll be honest with you. I feel like maybe the leaders of the main creative DC and Marvel needs to take more of a stance or a harder stance on their characters' lives and stuff.
There needs to be rules.
Yeah, killing off characters could lose a lot of fans of that character. Like, because Marvel comic book community is kind of gatekeeping. Like, the big problem I think with comic book readers is a lot of them think all comics should be written for them. I feel like that's not how comics works. Not all comics is made for a certain group. I don't like Punisher comics, but they aren't written for me. I don't have to like them. That's okay. But I feel like a lot of people don't get that, I think. So, like, people will think, so I love Aquaman. He's my favorite character. I feel like people who do love Aquaman, if they were to kill off Aquaman and bring in a new character kind of like Aquaman, people think that's stupid. They killed off a classic character just so they can add this new, probably more diverse character, and it's the SJW agenda, things like that. I feel like that's the main problem right there. It's too much gatekeeping. And I think that's kind of scary tomorrow. I feel like they're scared because if they kill off these old characters to create new characters and create more of a sense of danger in comics, they're going to push away a lot of readers. I feel like that's what they're afraid of, because right now the comic industry is dying. It honestly is. There's no getting around the bus right now. Comic book shops are closing by the hundreds every year. Everything's going digital.
It's crazy.
And I doubt the characters will be able to stay around much longer, honestly. But they're afraid that if they push away their fans, that they're going to lose more readers and they're going to go out of business.
But they have to be able to attract new fans, and they're never going to attract new fans if they don't do new things.
The beauty of the MCU, though. The MCU is probably the only reason that Marvel is still in existence right now.
It is like the Catch-22. It's what they have to do in order to do new things, but it's also the part of the reason that there's a lot of problems with their entire storyline. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do want to say that really it's in the hands of the readers. It's in the hands of, well, not necessarily the readers. It's in the hands of the readers' pocketbooks, because if the readers like a character enough and are willing to pay to read, new stories about a character, doesn't matter if the character's been dead. Maybe this happens all the time with all kinds of different types of things. Maybe a character wasn't popular in the past, but later on, for some reason, it gets rediscovered and becomes popular again, but the character's dead. They could easily bring it back basically just to make money. And I'm not going to say that the Marvel and DC are that greedy, but it's just what it is. They gotta pay the bills, Mm-hmm. So they'll write what people want to read, which is basically what you're talking about. And that's what I mean, is they can't kill off these important characters that people love, because if they die, then they lose so many readers because people lose interest.
Real quick.
Yeah.
I promise one day we're going to do a problem with Marvel and DC, the comic book industry. But I really want to talk about the Spiderverse today, Levi.
Oh.
We're kind of getting out of hand. I'm sorry about that.
It's okay, but this is the problem that I have with multiverse, and it's very linked
with that issue.
With that issue. And so, it's a complicated issue, and it doesn't mean that stories that have a multiverse are bad. Like, if I was to read a comic book and it had a multiverse aspects, it doesn't automatically make it a bad comic book.
Yeah.
It's just an unfortunate element that is almost necessary in today's comic book world, I guess you could say.
I agree.
And the Spider-Verse movie is amazing, and they handle it very well. They handle it with humor.
They do.
And that is important. If you handle it with humor, it's no longer... It doesn't really matter if there are serious consequences in the story, because it's more fun and just fun and games.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But not all comics should be like that. Which brings me to a point I wanted to make about Spider-Man Noir. Were we going to talk about him?
Yeah, he's a few down the list, but we kind of got distracted for 10 minutes.
Can we move to that one?
Yes. So we'll talk more about the Marvel problem in about 3 or 4 weeks probably. We'll be back with that. Promise.
Spider-Man Noir is really cool.
Did you read the comic?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, cool.
It's a very serious story, but that's what's unfortunate about it, is that Spider-Man Noir is so serious and so cool by himself, and he kind of is just a joke in the movie.
That's okay, though.
It's okay, but
quick backstory.
It's just a shame.
So Spider-Man Noir, that's Earth 90214. The whole set of that universe, it's all this the Marvel universe set in the Great Depression, to kind of a noir crime drama film. and it's a lot more serious. So the Spider-Man of that universe is the exact same character, but his costume is based off his uncle's World War I costume. He's a socialist. He also carries a gun, and he's not afraid to kill people.
Yeah, and there's a lot of I don't even know where to begin with it. There's like a lot of serious poverty and like twistedness to the story.
It's like it's the Great Depression.
And there's like actual cannibalism.
Yeah.
And it's
a very dark and gritty universe.
Oh my goodness. And it's so cool on its own. I wish that we could get like if it wasn't connected to the Spider-Man series, it would almost be better if it was more like a Moon Knight kind of situation.
They should do a Moon Knight noir. But they kind of dropped the whole noir thing though.
They did?
Yeah, they did. They had a whole like run of like noir comics, like X-Men noir, Iron Man noir, things like that, and Deadpool pulp. A little stupid, but they kind of dropped it, and they actually recently killed off Spider-Man noir in Spider-Geddon, which was stupid because I love Spider-Man noir. He's got a cool costume, and he's not afraid to do what people have to do.
Imagine this: the collaboration of the century would be Moon Knight, Batman, and Spider-Man noir. It would be horrible and amazing.
It would be horrible. I wouldn't read that, honestly.
They would have, but what if they like fought against each other?
Batman would win.
No, Moon Knight would win.
No, he wouldn't.
Yes, he would.
No, he wouldn't.
Moon Knight is.
We're not going to talk about this today. I promise you, we're going to do a Fight Night episode, and one of the lineups will be Batman versus Moon Knight, and we're going to talk about it, and we're going to discuss it. We're going to do a Fight Night.
Let the record show Moon Knight would win.
Let the record show that you're an idiot.
Let the record show that Charlie doesn't know what he's talking about.
I've read... So the next universe is Earth 982, and the whole gig of that universe is it takes place in the year 2099, in the future. So in this universe, Spider-Man's been long dead, and all other characters have been long dead. But there's this geneticist named Miguel O'Hara, a former geneticist, who tried to recreate Spider-Man's powers. His DNA became part spider, and became the Spider-Man of Earth 2099, which if you saw Spiderverse, he was in it at the very, 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 very end, which is kind of cool.
It was an awesome end credit scene.
It was a great end credit scene, all of it.
I'm pretty sure everyone who would be listening to this has seen Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse now.
I'm in the belief that you shouldn't spoil a movie till the DVD comes out.
You know what? That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. But it's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, so his main difference from the main Spider-Man is a few things. First off, 2099 has no spider sense.
Aww.
He has enhanced hearing and stuff, so he can hear things coming.
Kind of interesting.
He has canines in his teeth, like fangs. He has claws. He has natural webs, and he has venom in his teeth he can excrete.
Maybe he should see an orthodontist.
Probably. He's actually really cool. He's a big favorite character.
Because that's gonna cause problems later in his mouth. He might bite open his
he can
gum.
retract them.
Oh,
I think.
What if he's having a nightmare and he
the same reason snakes don't bite their mouth. They can probably fold back, I'd imagine. I don't know. It's a stupid question. Just stop it.
I'm doing it intentionally, Charlie.
I know. You're dragging out this episode.
No, I'm enjoying this.
Anyway, he was a big favorite character in the 90s. It was written by Peter David. He's a really cool character. And
I want to see more from him.
They did a recent arc where he actually ended up living in the main 616 universe for a while because of time travel and universe travel. I don't know. It's a confusing topic.
It seems to me as though he knows about the whole multiverse thing and has some kind of control over moving between them that the other characters don't necessarily because of future.
Yeah.
And I think that we're going to see a lot of him in the next Spider-Verse movie that I'm pretty sure is going to come out because they kind of teased it.
Yeah. The next one's going to be Spider-Woman, apparently.
Really?
They're going to do a more female-led one.
That's cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Are we going to see some of the... I wonder if we're going to see some of the characters from the first movie in that one.
Spider-Woman's going to come out, apparently. They're going to do Jessica Drew Spider-Man. I think they're going to do the character of Silk.
Okay.
There's probably a few more. I don't know. That's my predictions. That's what I've heard through the news and stuff.
I hope that we get to see some of the characters that we saw in the first movie, though, because I would like to see the continuing of that whole story.
Yeah, me too. Be cool.
It would be weird if it was just a separate thing entirely, but you know.
Yeah. But yeah, so a lot of people like 29. He's a big favorite character, and I honestly kind of like him. He has a cool character design. If you ever looked it up, it's a really cool character design.
He's the blue boy, right?
He's the blue boy with a red thing.
Yeah.
He has also a white costume, which is even cooler.
Yeah, I would like that better.
Yeah.
Any of the Spider-Man that have costumes that are more spider-like, that's a little less awkward for me. Because I don't know, like when have you ever seen a red like spider that looks like the original Spider-Man costume, red and blue?
In Spider-Man 1 with Tobey Maguire.
No, like an actual spider.
Anyway, the next no, I haven't. It's fake. It's really cool. It's a very colorful character, and that's a big part of comics. Comics is all about pageantry, the color of the costumes.
You know what? It's true. I never understood that aspect of it.
Because they're colorful. Like Superman's a colorful. It harkens back to the Golden Age. Characters like in the Golden Age, colorful costumes was all the rage. Superman had a big red and blue costume with yellow on it. It's just things people like.
And then they moved away from that in the 90s, and it was even worse. It was better.
Body
when it was
armor,
colorful.
shoulder pads, as many guns you can get on the costume, and people with triangular bodies.
It was better when it was colorful.
Swole, Captain America, like it gets rough how swole they were.
I
and
think
bad costume changes.
I think we're moving towards a better place now.
Oh yeah, we definitely are.
Because the 90s were bad.
I agree.
Wasn't Punisher invented in the 90s?
I don't know. I lost track. I think
fits
he
the
was
aesthetic.
the 80s.
Was he?
I think he was the 80s.
He
debuted in the Spider-Man comic, so I think it was
knew
the
that.
80s. But yeah. So the next Earth we're going to talk about is Earth 65, and that is the universe of Spider-Gwen. Gwen Stacy Spider-Man. So Gwen Stacy in that universe was bit by a radioactive spider and becomes Spider-Woman, and not Peter Parker. Peter Parker gets jealous, wants to be a superhero, drinks a potion, becomes a lizard, and accidentally gets killed.
I hate Peter Parker in this story.
You do?
He's just an idiot.
Did you read this?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I read a lot of these.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You actually did the homework.
I did. Because, I watched the movie, but I hadn't read the comics until a few days ago.
Good job.
But no, I hate Peter Parker because he's just a freaking idiot in this comic.
Yeah.
But I love the concept. That's why I wanted to do a Gwen Stacy day in our week of
We have a Spider-Woman episode lined up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did Gwen Stacy though. Yeah.
Because it was really interesting to see. I like the ones where someone other than Peter Parker becomes Spider-Man. I think those are really cool concepts to explore. And it gives it depth.
They did a cool concept recently as it was, what if Spider-Man was not the only one that was bitten? Which it happened. The Spider-Man bit someone else named Stacey Moon, who became the character of Silk. But she got locked up in a bunker for like 20 years.
Whoops.
Yeah, it happens.
You know,
it was a cool concept.
Just a regular day, locked up in a bunker for 20 years.
Yeah, it's well worth a check out. But yeah. So Gwen Stacy actually came out because someone made some fan art. People were like, that's really cool. Let's make this a comic book character. And honestly, I like it. It's pretty cool. She's got like a punk rock Avril Lavigne kind of thing going on, and has a really good costume design.
Yeah, her costume is aesthetic as hell.
So cool. They recently changed her character name to Ghost Spider, which okay, cool. I like it. White costume, ghosts. I like it. It's
Spider
cool.
Gwen is kind of cheesy, but
that's not her name in the comics. So her name is Spider-Woman.
Really?
Why would you go by Spider-Gwen?
But that's what they called her in the movie. Why would they change that?
They called her Spider-Woman.
No,
they said, my name's Gwen Stacy. I'm the Spider-Woman of Earth blank 65.
They called her. Well, maybe it was just the title. I just assumed that she went by that because
she
of the
goes
title.
by Spider-Woman.
Why would
Spider-Gwen is just how people know her because that's how they market her. Because people are like, because we already have a Spider-Woman.
That's weird. Why would they call the comics something different from what she goes by?
That's why they're calling her Ghost Spider now.
That's worse.
Valid.
Anyway.
But yeah.
Penny Parker's also amazing.
Penny Parker, best girl. No.
She is awesome.
Yeah, that's Earth 14512, and she has a robot companion controlled by a spider called
Unless she's controlling it, because she can kind of be inside the
Teamwork
robot.
makes the dream work.
She kind of...
I feel like in a battle situation, she gets inside, so she doesn't get hurt. But the spider, I think, has like a mental telepathic connection, I think, in both words.
It's a little bit confusing.
It's confusing.
I don't understand fully how it works. All I know is that she's awesome, and it's awesome.
Yeah. So she's a teenager who just has a spider mech, and she's really smart.
Mm-hmm.
She can like design things. But the coolest thing about Penny Parker is that she was created by Gerard Way of My Chemical Romance, which is wild.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh no. I don't know how I feel about that.
Rock stars have a bad tendency of coming over to comics, and Gerard Way's actually a really good comic writer, actually.
Yeah, it's not bad, and I like the thing with her father and her not really knowing her father is kind of interesting and meaningful.
Yeah.
I think it's a little weird how they did a bit of a crossover between the manga universe and the Penny Parker universe in the movie, because it's not portrayed that way in the comics.
There was like a Marvel manga verse for a while.
Yeah.
Which was kind of weird because Marvel was like trying to capitalize on the big manga craze of the early 2000s. They're like, let's make a Marvel manga verse and make more manga-like comics, which gave us a lot of good gems like Arachne, the Spider Woman, Runaways, which is a really popular character genre. I love Runaways. It gives a lot more. It was a big different art design of like the 2004 to 2006.
But I don't mind that it happened in the movie, just because the movie has
fun.
a more comedic tone.
Yeah,
and that's fine. Mm-hmm. I think that it would be hard to take it seriously if her story was stylized the same way in the I don't know. You know what I mean?
I agree. Yeah, it'd be a lot different. But that's like the most cartooniest thing part of that movie, I think.
No,
you haven't touched on it. You're talking about Earth 8311, inhabited by anthropomorphic animals, home of the one, the only Spider-Ham.
Oh no,
Peter Porker.
Oh no,
a spider that got bit by a radioactive pig.
This one is just stupid.
He's just a cartoon character.
It's literally like Mickey Mouse. It's the same thing.
Stupid.
He just pulls out giant hammers and anvils, and oh my gosh.
In the movie, it's so dumb. It's a really fun character. Honestly,
I
understand people love him. He's a fan favorite.
I understand him collaborating into other universes. I do not understand making an entire series for him or anything like that.
It was the 90s. Things happen.
But I kind of like it. I do.
Yeah.
I can't lie. I like it.
Yeah. I do.
I don't want to like it.
It was before the comic book crash. They could do whatever they wanted, Levi.
That's probably why the comic book crash happened.
No. There are other things you can point to about what happened.
That might be one part of it.
Like prices and stuff.
Yeah.
And killing off Superman and Batman at the same time.
Yeah.
Back when death actually meant something.
Rip.
Yeah. But yeah, he's a cartoon pig. And he just... Spider-Ham.
Not only a cartoon pig, but a stylized cartoon pig. It literally, if you can imagine...
Voiced. Sorry, carry on.
If you can imagine the original, Steamboat Mickey Mouse, from the 20s or whatever, that's what he looks like. That's what it's like. And it's amazing. It's great.
I love it. He's a cool character. And all the characters are anthropomorphic animals. We have, a bunny, Captain America, and things like that. But more importantly...
That's amazing. I never thought of Captain America as a bunny, but now I do.
Yeah, right? That's his furry persona.
Ooh.
That's his persona.
He's secretly a furry guy.
Oh my gosh.
We figured it
I
out.
don't like this. Voiced by John Mulaney. Spider-Ham. Love him. Alright, we only got 10 minutes left. Got a few more characters to get through. Earth 311 is set in the year 1602. So back when, Jamestown County and stuff.
Oh my gosh, that one was amazing. I didn't read that one, but...
Yeah, it's really cool. Also, the original run was written by the man, the myth, the legend, Neil Gaiman himself. And Neil Gaiman is not only a writing god amongst books, but also a comic book god. He's one of the best authors and writers out there. God bless you, Neil Gaiman. We love you. Praise be unto you.
Amen.
Okay. But yeah, so Peter Parker was the Scottish guy who's friends with Doctor Strange. And the whole he in the main 1602 comic, he doesn't have any spider powers. They keep him as a running gag, a spider's about to bite him, and he's like, "Oh no, get off me!" and doesn't get bit. It's like a running gag. It's really stupid. But at the end, after some events happen, where some time traveling and some weird floating eggs and stuff happens, he gets bit by a magical spider and becomes the spider. But he's Spider-Man of our 1602, and he dies in Spiderverse.
Of course,
gets killed because he's from 1602, and he doesn't understand technology.
Whoops,
it happens. Spoiler alert.
Oh well.
Yeah.
But it's the universe kept trying to get him bit, and he just kept on rejecting it.
He kept on rejecting it.
That would be me.
Oh.
That would be me.
Oh
my goodness, that's one of the opening scenes from Spider-Verse, when he swats the spider.
Oh, but he gets bit though. Gets bit. slap.
Yes, that was...
Doesn't even flinch.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
accurate. I've been bitten by a spider, and honestly, I didn't feel it.
Yeah.
Not saying Tobey Maguire is a wuss.
That's a big freaking spider, though. Like, if I would feel that spider crawling on me and biting me. I would feel that spider.
Right.
I think that...
But he was distracted. He was doing some art stuff.
Yeah, he was like...
He was
painting
jamming
some
some
things.
Post Malone.
Yeah. Which, by the way, fits amazingly into that movie.
I love that song.
It's a really good soundtrack.
It's
like,
a bop.
everything about that movie is beautiful, and you need to watch it if you haven't.
Check it out. Second best, well, probably the best movie soundtrack of the year.
It's the best Spider-Man movie of all time.
Okay, well, moving on.
So
We already talked about the MC universe, and actually, there's also a Marvel mangaverse full of weeb stuff and a lot more anime things like, oh no, Mary Jane's passed out. I gotta do CPR. Uh-oh. It's really dumb. I didn't read it. I don't like it. There's a lot more weird showy costumes. I don't like it.
I'm not surprised.
But yeah, that's Earth 2301. And then another big universe of the 90s was Earth 982. That's where Spider-Man's daughter becomes Spider-Girl. And it's kind of popular.
Is Spider-Man already Spider-Man?
He was Spider-Man, yeah.
So
he retires and is like, here, you can be Spider-Girl now.
he just transfers the powers.
Yeah, which he didn't want her to because, like, responsibility and stuff, but she did it. And then he's like, okay, this is our life now. I'm sorry, this burp right there.
That was beautiful.
Yeah. A few more universes. Earth 18119. That's where One More Day didn't happen. Which One More Day was a big scandalous comic book event where the writer Dan Slott, who wrote Spider-Man for 10 years after that. Oof. Some people don't like Dan Slott, and that might be including me. But hey, at least on Spider-Man, he writes some other good stuff. That's random. Sorry. He took the marriage of Mary Jane, Peter Parker, and they sold that to Mephisto to keep Aunt May alive, and they did it just to make Peter Parker have more relationships and stuff in comics. It was dumb. Granted, I don't even like Mary Jane, but hey, it was dumb.
Yeah, I didn't particularly like her either.
Yeah,
she was one of the reasons I don't like the first trilogy of movies.
Shut your mouth.
I don't like them.
Okay. And then Earth 2149, which is the Marvel Zombies universe.
I don't understand.
There was
that
a zombie out. Well, okay. The coolest thing about it is that it's related to the Evil Dead movies, which I don't know if you know what Evil Dead is. It's a Sam Raimi movie who made the original Spider-Man, and then there's this big evil Necronomicon book, and so a zombie outbreak happens while Ash is there. Then Spider-Man gets bit by a zombie. He goes eats Aunt May and Mary Jane. Then the zombies in this thing are sentient though. They're like smart and stuff, and they still have their superpowers. They take over the world. They kill Galactus, which is like a world devourer. Still his power cosmic. Time travel and stuff. It's really dumb.
Whose idea was this?
I don't know.
And we go back to the point of why multiverses can just be a bad thing.
But people love that comic though.
Well, there's got to be a reason.
It has a big fan base. Check out Marvel Zombies. You'll like it. You'll probably like it. And also it has the Evil Dead tie-in, which I love. The Evil Dead and Sam Raimi.
Spider-Man. You know what this does?
What?
This does to the most popular character in the Marvel universe. One of them, anyway. It makes him a little bit inaccessible because there's so many different types of characters that you're just like,
there's a Spider-Man for anyone though.
Begin? Where do I start?
Spider-Man. Find one that you like. If you want to get into comics, find the character you think you'll like and just start reading. That's my best advice to anyone to try and get into comics.
There's so many.
That's why I gave you X-Men comics for Christmas, because I know you like X-Men. Why not try an X-Men comic?
And they're awesome.
I know. Okay, and last few major ones. Earth 120703, that's where Andrew Garfield is Spider-Man from the Amazing Spider-Man movies. You gotta like them or you hate them. We'll leave that at that. Then we had the best universe, Earth 96283, home of Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man.
The worst universe.
You shut your mouth. You know what, Levi? You know what? I've had enough of you trashing that movie. We're going to have a debate day of us fighting. It's going to be Heroes on the Horizon, Civil War. And we're going to get our friends. It's going to be a big episode. Mark your calendars. We're going to debate this over who... Tom Holland versus Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Tom Holland's where it's at, guys.
It's going to be a debate.
Tom Holland's better.
Fight night. Hope y'all are ready for that one. Because it's on. I'm going to hold my...
Tom Holland.
I'm going to rip your throat out.
That's violent.
I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that. I love that boy. He's my boo.
I know. Tom Holland's awesome, isn't he?
But yeah. And there's literally thousands of more. Because there's just so many universes.
I know. There's a lot.
Yeah.
It's too much.
It is too much.
It's too much.
But I think the best thing about the universes, though, is it gives more creative detail to people who want to do something different with a character.
I agree, and that is a good thing about it.
Yeah.
You know what Marvel needs to do, though?
What?
Is they need to make, like, an ultimate guide to every
Like
Spider-Verse. Like a map and a description of each one with a picture or something.
I feel like...
People would like that, and it would make it easy and accessible.
I know there's a Marvel encyclopedia, because I have one, but back before it was outdated. But they didn't really have much of a Spider-Verse in. But
just one for Spider-Verse only.
I agree.
And that would... I don't know why they don't do that. Because comics are already not accessible enough. They need to do more things to get people into it easier.
Like a reboot of the whole universe. I don't know.
We'll
talk on that one day.
That might be a bit of a drastic step, but I kind of agree with you at the same time.
I promise. 4 weeks, we're going to do Problems of Marvel and our solutions on it.
They could just reboot one... start on a completely new universe, Earth number.
Like a New 52 reboot. But like DC did. Just start everything over.
Yeah, but or you could just make it another one of the Earths, and then that way all the rest of it doesn't go away.
But then the problem is still there.
Yeah, but you just don't visit those Earths as much. But then it's still there.
But then you make too many fans mad, and we're going... today's Heroes on the Horizon recommended media. Because we got close, because we got less than a minute going on here. So, if you want some more Spider-Verse material or multiverse stuff, check out Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It's a great movie. Totally check it out. If you want
good.
a cool Spider-Man, check out Spider-Man 2099 by Peter David. It's a future Spider-Man, or Spider-Man Noir.
Yeah, I was going to say, read the Noir.
Yeah, we'll put all these on our Twitter. Spider-Verse by Dan Slott and a bunch of others. It's really confusing. Not the top of my list, but it's where all the Spider-Man crossover. As well as Spider-Man by Brian Michael Bendis, where Earth 616 Spider-Man meets Miles Morales Spider-Man. It's a really heartwarming story. Check it out. And then next week, we're done for today because they're going to kick us out. No, we're good. You made me look. Hey, our next topic is going to be Batman and his ongoing battle against criminals in the night, and how he's a loner, but literally has the largest superhero family ever.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the Batman family.
Going to have a special guest.
Yes,
to be seen. And
follow us on Twitter and Instagram.
Thank y'all for listening. Sorry for the quick short cut off on this, guys.